Hey guys, what better way to celebrate 2 years on YouTube than to talk about another Cloverfield movie? So sit back and let's talk about 10 Cloverfield Lane. 10 Cloverfield Lane was directed by David Trachtenberg and stars Mary Elizabeth Winstead, John Goodman, and John Gallagher Jr., and tells the story of Michelle, who after leaving her fiancé is in a car accident and then finds herself in an underground bunker run by John Goodman's character, and soon she discovers that the world that she knows might be utterly destroyed, or that John Goodman is hiding everything from her and is keeping her captive. For those of you that are new to my channel, you might not know that my very first review on this channel was of the Cloverfield Paradox. So every year on the anniversary of my time here on YouTube, I've decided to review every Cloverfield movie. And so last year we talked about Cloverfield, so it makes sense to talk about 10 Cloverfield Lane, which is my personal favorite of this trilogy. Unlike Cloverfield, I actually got to see this movie in the theaters, and in fact, it ended up on my top 10 favorite films of 2016. I absolutely loved this movie when it was released, and sitting back and watching it again after so long, this is still an incredibly fun, inventive, and just a great thriller overall. I absolutely loved this movie, guys, and a lot of it is due to the acting in this film. Mary Elizabeth Winstead gives an excellent performance of this very resourceful woman who is in a tight situation as she is trying to figure out what is going on. She can't trust this person that she is with, and it's just great seeing her throughout this film grow and figure out what's going on, and the way she comes up with ways of escaping is very clever and definitely one of the film's strongest parts. Also, probably the strongest part of this film is John Goodman himself. His performance is absolutely fantastic. This character can go from being just very calm to incredibly threatening and scary just in seconds, and it's absolutely great. And I think John Goodman does an excellent job in this film of playing this villain character in this film, and it's just great. And watching him playing off of our two other leads in this film is incredible, and I think the acting is superb in this film. And being that there's really only 3 actors in this entire film, they are able to really delve into these characters, learn so much about them, and they're just so entertaining to watch. And that's what I love about this film. It's just so entertaining, from being in this underground bunker that's set up like a little house, and the rules that John Goodman puts in place, and the idea that you cannot go outside because there is something out there that will kill us all, is really intriguing. And I absolutely loved it because you're like, is he telling the truth? Is he really lying? Like, we don't know, and we get little hints here and there that something is clearly wrong, such as when we look at these pigs that are at this farm and they're definitely decomposed, and then there's this woman that appears whose skin is literally melting off of her, and there's clearly something going on here. We just don't know what until that third act kicks in. And I want to talk about that third act because this is the breaking point for some people in this film, because people absolutely do love the majority of this film inside the underground bunker, but many people just turn ahead when we get to the third act of this film and Mary Elizabeth Winstead actually leaves the bunker, and we turn out that aliens have taken over the Earth. And for some people, I understand the complaint. I understand that it is very different from the rest of the film that we've been watching. However, I think it works because it has been set up throughout this entire film that something is clearly off in the real world, outside of this bunker. There is something wrong, and to have it be aliens, I mean, it's silly, but I'm completely fine with it because there is this setup earlier on, and there's even setup in the finale of the film with the Molotov cocktail, and it's just a really fun finale with a kind of cheesy, goofy ending, but I think that's why I love this film. It does kind of remind me of a Twilight Zone episode in a lot of ways, and it has that big twist at the end that is something that you should see coming, but it is still surprising nonetheless. I mean, it is a Cloverfield movie, after all. I absolutely love the cinematography in this film, too. It looks absolutely gorgeous, and also the score in this film, especially when I was watching it this last time, just was so tense and was really a good score, and I think is really underrated in terms of thriller scores. This always kept me on the edge of my seat, even when I knew what was happening. I think the sound design is great. The set itself is wonderful to look at. I just think this is a great idea, and the fact that they turned it into this sort of spiritual successor to Cloverfield is really intriguing, and it made for an interesting kind of sequel or spiritual successor that is honestly the best out of this trilogy. In terms of negatives, I don't really have any. I mean, if I looked really hard, I guess I could come up with something, but I just love this film so much. It's so entertaining. I love the characters. I love just the thriller aspects of it. I think it's extremely entertaining. So anyway, with all that said, I'm going to give 10 Cloverfield Lane an 8 out of 10. Well, guys, I want to thank you for watching this review, and thank you for staying around for 2 years on this channel. I hope you enjoyed this review, and as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next review.